glory of a British coronation. Nowhere in the world is there anything half so wonderful. And now, for the first time in newsreel history, we show you the matchless royal pageantry in all the brilliance of its scintillating colour. Only once or twice in the life of each one of us comes such a day as this, when we know that we're watching history in the making, when we know that generations of Englishmen to come will look back on this day. For May the 12th, 1937, will be one of the dates in English history that the school children will learn about, maybe 1,000 years from now. Every moment the thrill of excitement increases. With a flashing of breastplates and a clatter of hooves, the moment has come. With slowness and dignity, the coronation coach moves forward, bringing with it, symbolized by our royal family, all the history and tradition of Britain and the Empire. Down the Mall goes the roar of the cheering, spreading like a slow fire. And for the first time, there's no difference between seeing it on the screen and actually being there. The red, white and blue of the waving flags, the gold of the decorations, the gorgeous uniforms of the household cavalry, you see them all in their pomp and colour. The detachments from the regular army and the territorials, the band of the Scots Guard, the Royal Navy, into Trafalgar Square, and below the tall shade of Nelson, there passes in turn the glass coaches bearing the members of the royal family, Queen Mary's procession, and then the royal cavalcade. In front is the King's bodyguard of the Yeoman of the Guard, and behind them the King's barge master and 12 watermen, and then the mounted band of the household cavalry. Signals from the rooftops herald the most brilliant in this glittering array, the state coach, surely the most beautiful vehicle in all the world, a free translation into carved and gilded imagery of all the pomp and tradition of British royalty. It crosses Trafalgar Square, and 100,000 faces are turned towards it, and 100,000 throats voice their loyalty. Meanwhile, the coach of the Speaker of the House of Commons is already on its way to the Abbey. Across Parliament Square, the procession enters the most historic part of the royal route, past Big Ben, past Westminster Hall and the Houses of Parliament, to the ancient Church of Westminster, which was first built in the days of Edward the Confessor, whose crown will, before another hour has passed, rest on the head of King George VI. And at this moment, as the state coach draws up at the Abbey, we remember other coronations that have passed. Now, once again, the sovereign comes to the throne, fitted by character and upbringing to carry on a great tradition. King George VI enters Westminster Abbey for his crowning, in the magnificent pattern of his beloved father. On him the crown is safe. Long may it rest there. London waits while the solemn service has been taking place in the Abbey to welcome its new sovereign, and already the royal cavalcade is on its way. This morning there were 7 separate processions making their ways to the Abbey. Now they have joined into one amazing line of colour, more than 2.5 miles long. Among its glittering uniforms and waving plumes, not the smallest corner, not the least citizen of the empire is forgotten. Not one branch of its life is unrepresented. Across Trafalgar Square again, and then the procession passes through some of the most famous streets in the city of Westminster. Pall Mall and St. James's Street shake to the marching of the Royal Navy, glitter to the flashing of 1,000 swords, echo to the roar of the cheering. And London matches the procession with the brilliance of its decorations, shown in all their gorgeous colour. The Dominion and Colonial representatives, the Canadian Mounted Police, Highland Light Infantry, and behind it all, as the final climax, comes the royal coach. Leaving the Abbey, His Majesty is wearing the imperial state crown, and throughout the return drive, he will carry the sceptre with the cross in one hand, the orb with the cross in the other. Thus, with all the outward and visible signs of his sovereignty around him, His Britannic Majesty King George VI and his Queen leave the Abbey to ride for mile after mile through jubilating streets. And we join with London, with the Empire, with the world, in crying, God save our King and Queen.